So it's a bit of a sad day today. We've just left Coronation Beach. It's been an awesome little low-cost campsite. 100% recommend it. We'll chuck it up on the map here. We put the cameras down for the last 3 days and just really spent time with a family that we've been running into for about the last 2 months. I've said it before in other videos, it is a big part of why we travel is the people you meet, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. The whole family's had a ball, the girls have had a ball. So it is a bit sad to leave them, but it's also exciting because we don't know where we're going again today, as I start a lot of videos like that, and we really don't know where we're going for the next sort of 2 weeks. We are going to head a bit south of Perth and really hopefully find some little gems and share them with you guys. So let's go and find somewhere to camp tonight. Well, we've got a destination for tonight. We're heading to Cervantes, just at the caravan park there. We really need to do some washing anyway. We just went and did the dreaded groceries on the road, and we're pulled up at Port Denison. So we're on a roadside sandwich. What are we having?
So, really handy little idea. Buy a cooked chook, break it up, and I just chuck some mayo in with it. And then I just mix it all around so that when you just pull up, you can just scoop it out and it doesn't fall everywhere, and it's nice and easy.
It's better than KFC, isn't it, Harpy?
No, it isn't.
Oh, you sure? We promised the kids KFC, but we didn't see one, did we?
They want KFC so badly. I don't think we've hardly eaten any fast food on this trip, which has been amazing, but they're craving it.
We're due.
And I think because we're heading sort of south now, getting closer to bigger centres, we're starting to see Maccas pop up.
Yeah, have a bit of lunch and then off to the caravan park, try and get a couple of loads of washing done. It's all boring stuff, but it's part of being on the road. And yeah, we'll try and explore Cervantes, and it's supposed to be a really nice little town. Might even try and do some fishing again. The way the sun hits you in the afternoon weekend.
No, don't do that.
Oh shit!
I'm liking the vibe here at Cervantes.
It's a nice little town.
An amazing little caravan park. It's actually quite flash. We're literally about 100 metres from the caravan park, right on the foreshore here. It's just got a really relaxed kind of vibe. There's no wind. It's just
Beautiful this afternoon.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to have no wind.
There's people set up on the point out here. If we had known, I reckon we'll give that a crack tomorrow afternoon. If that wind stays away.
Yeah,
could be a good spot to have dinner.
It's very cruisy. There's a bit of a vibe here. It's just everyone's having a drink this afternoon. It's just, I don't know, feels good.
Nice and relaxed.
Yeah, feel like we're on holidays, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Kids are at the park. There's an amazing park.
We learn to enjoy these moments because
especially towards the end of the trip, you know, we're getting sort of towards the end of our trip now, and don't worry, the travels won't end.
That's right. But next minute we'll go from this to letting tyres down and getting bogged again, and hikes, and there'll be still a bit of that on the way home, no doubt. So you learn to enjoy these moments.
Sunny.
Well, we got to Cervantes yesterday and booked into the caravan park. Beautiful caravan park, but it's still a caravan park, and we were up most of the night last night. Someone beside us seemed to want to open and shut their door 50 times. I don't know what was going on. Obviously it had a few too many drinks. I mean, we've all been in that situation, but that's why we try and stay away from caravan parks. The town itself was beautiful, however, and we will endeavour to get a lobster this afternoon. Megan doesn't eat lobster though, so I'm on my own with that. So we've just come out to have a look at the Pinnacles. It's about 10 k's from Cervantes, so Cervantes is a good base to explore, obviously Cervantes itself, but then to also come and have a look at the Pinnacles. I just wanted to touch on the WA annual parks pass. I think it was $120 for the whole year, and it definitely would have paid for itself probably twice over now, hey Dale?
Yeah.
So it's $15 just to come and do this drive, but there's a lot of little parks, national parks you go into that charge you $15 just to drive in. That pass covers all of those for WA. It's a really good system. You don't have to buy separate passes. It's WA wide, and it's 100% worth it.
Plus, you don't have to have, well, a lot of the time when you go into these national parks, you have to have the cash on you. So it just eliminates, if you don't have cash or you don't carry it, you've just got the pass and you just go straight in.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll go and have a look at this today and try and make the best of it. We've got jumpers on, it's grey, it's cloudy. Let's bring this down a little bit.
Like that with your head rather than do it again. That's perfect. Quick, no, get back. Get back here.
Come on, one more, please.
Quick.
One more.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect. Jeez, that was easy.
Thank you. Oh, were you filming that whole time?
Yeah, you're swearing a lot.
Oh.
Look at me!
Don't! What sound is it?
Raining.
I know.
No. That's sad, is it? Like up.
Look, drops.
Oh, it's weird.
It's been 4 months since we've seen rain.
Yeah.
Rain's standing out on it.
And where we come from, it hasn't stopped raining for like 3 years. So it's a bit sad. Anyway, let's go. Let's roll.
Dad got all 4 bikes off within 5 minutes thanks to Rocky Mount's bike holders put on the caravan.
That was awesome, Wilsey.
But seriously though, the Rocky Mount's bike racks have actually been awesome. They still work like the day I put them on. Pretty sure when they designed these, they weren't thinking of Australia's harsh corrugated roads that these have put up with. So yeah, I'd definitely do these again. The Rocky Mount's Tomahawks have absolutely performed flawlessly, and it makes you use the bikes more because they're easy to get on and off. So let's hit the bikes. We're going to do a ride around town and then off to the Lobster Shack for lunch, And yeah, that's all you can do on a day like today, I reckon.
Well, this is going well. We are riding in the rain and we're heading back to dump the bikes because it's just getting a little bit too heavy. We're getting soaked, which is not cool. So we're going to go to the Lobster Shack.
Well, we thought we'd better come and visit the Lobster Shack. When you're in Cervantes, everyone says you've got to go to the Lobster Shack. So I've been talking to lunch here. Except I'm the only one that eats lobster. But anyway, I'll enjoy it.
Lucky they have burgers.
Running it very fine. Well, I'll be interested to see how much I can get in the tanks. This is the lowest I've had them for sure. So
yes, we're on the red line and we are coming into the nearest town. Oh no,
that's not the right turn.
We're trying to come into the nearest town. The bloody aircon's off. You've done everything.
Yeah,
Got no power going.
Saving fuel. No aircon on.
Oh.
The sub tank is actually out of fuel. I'm back on the main, and the fuel light's been on for about 30 k's now. So.
You even checked it before we left this morning and said, no, we'll have plenty of fuel.
There won't be much left.
Anyway, it happens and it's happened and we're detouring to the nearest town to get some fuel now. So wish us luck. How'd you go?
Heaps of fuel left. We could have gone at least another 40 k's down the road, I reckon. So yeah, that was a little bit too fine. So we're driving along and actually ran out of fuel because I was still on the sub tank. Switched back to the main tank and I had about 25-30 litres left in there, which got us here. So now we're going to find a KFC because the kids are craving KFC.
If we have to hear about KFC once more on this trip, I'm going to go insane. We need to go and find one right now.
Don't worry, I'm ready for it too. Righto, let's go.
Let's do it!
Hey kids, where are we?
Woo!
Woo!
Yay, another caravan park. Get me out of here. I'm done. I've had enough of the city already. It's not me, eh?
No, we're not city people at all.
No. Come on. We're like, and it's definitely not the car for the city either. It's quite a pain in the ass.
Fish out of water.
how I've ended up carrying bags for Megan's retail therapy for the last 2 days in Perth. I'm really not a city person, but you're across the other side of the country, you've got to do these things, I suppose. Perth itself is quite a beautiful city, and in particular we're in Fremantle today. Little Creatures is right over there, so we'll probably give that a visit later. So there are highlights to being in the city. There's beer everywhere you go, and I do like beer. It's not quite the Bush Chook or Great Northern, but I'll make do. But yeah, get me out of the city, please. No more shopping.
That's a good idea.
Oh, it's even got a padlock on it. This is good.
Oh no.
I'll lose the key.
Right. And then you've got to sit down, sit on the bench.
Sit.
Yeah. Tall enough. And have your neck really far forward and catch your hair a little bit on the way down, but right, you're in. You're not
How's
supposed
that?
to look, you're not supposed
Comfy?
to look happy about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be in here for 6 hours.
Punishment.
I reckon we give her an hour though. The ute doesn't even fit in the city, so we need to get out of the city right now. Can't even fit in the car parks. Let's go.
We do look a bit odd in the city.
We do. We don't.
Alright, let's go.
Well, I'll be glad to get out of Perth. As far as cities go, I did enjoy it. Megan and the kids enjoyed it more than I did. Shopping and cafes and that kind of thing really aren't me. But it is a pretty city, I'll admit that. And I did enjoy it, but it's ready and it's time to go. So yesterday we ended up catching up with some friends at a brewery, and I parked the car, I don't know, probably 3 to 4 times yesterday, and it was in paid parking. The 4th time I got lazy, I didn't pay. I hadn't seen a ranger all day, and we got back to the car and had a $65 fine. So that was just a great way to finish it. Perth has chewed me up and spat me out, and I'm getting out. So we are heading to Mandurah at the moment in search of coffee, and then off down to the Margaret River area. We're looking at a farm stay slash winery stay. There's a few options, and there's quite a few on Wikicamps that have got really good reviews. So we're going to come away from the coast a little bit and feel like we're doing a bit more camping, get out of the caravan park again. So I'm really looking forward to that. But first I've just got to navigate my way to Mandurah, which is quite painful sometimes with a caravan on. That's the other part of cities that you don't think about when you're towing. So I'm definitely no truck driver, that's for sure. Get me out in the bush, and I'm in my element. So anyway, let's go and get a coffee, and we'll have a look around Mandurah. Ready for coffee?
Yes, I am so ready for a coffee after our little attempt of getting out of Perth this morning, which turned into massive arguments. Oh my God. Oh.
Very stressful getting a park.
Apparently I'm not a very good navigator.
Oh, just park there. I'm like, I can't.
So
then I get in trouble.
Stress levels are very high right now. We need to just...
Coffee time. Feel like we can't drive anywhere without snacks. What is with kids and snacks in the car?
If I don't do it, then they'll bug me, and they're not great snacks, but they're car snacks.
So we actually know where we're going.
We're going to Olive Hill Farm in Margaret River.
Begs the question, is it an olive farm?
Yes, it is, and you can camp there, and it's got really, really good reviews on Wikicamps. One of the reasons why I thought we would just book 3 nights there.
So, and it's pretty
Wine
cheap,
country.
90, how much? 90?
I think it's $95 for the whole 3 nights for us, so it's pretty good value. And I like that you pay extra for like the dump point or water or whatnot. So if you need those facilities, you pay extra rather than just hitting you with a massive, $60 a night for, all you can eat sort of use of the facilities. So yeah.
Well, we'll get going, and it's good that it's cheap because we can't afford it anymore because I've got to pay all my fines off.
Stop getting booked, mate. You think you can outrun the law?
I've only been booked once, alright? But geez, I copped it.
He thought he could park in the middle of the city and get away with it. Well, that didn't take long. We've unhooked the van and we've come to Jarvis Estate Wines, so we're gonna go and have a little taste.
Can't just put a tap in the keg, right? Just slow,
I'll just take that one.
Slow down.
I'll
Slow
just
down.
Take that, thanks.
Exciting. It was nice, wasn't it?
Beautiful wine
Beautiful
here.
wine, yeah.
And great service. Like, not your typical trying to sell you stuff or just trying to be small talk. This chick here was so cool.
It was very good. I actually learned something, like, as cultured as I am, just a bush chook and a Great Northern. So no, I enjoyed it. It was good. Very good.
I think I might have to nurse this on the way home.
Oh God, she's
We got some
excited.
fortified wine and we got some red and a rosé. Something that we don't normally drink, but it was really nice here. So
Time to
go
go
Jarvis.
home and light the fire with the red wine.
yep.
What are you doing, kids? Nothing. They look like they're up to no good. Nah, dancing. Anyway, we've done a full setup at camp finally. It's been ages since we've done that because we've been just wedged into caravan park. So I'm like back into camp mode. Everything's out, awning's out, chairs are out. Most importantly, the fire is out and it is going. And what an outlook. Got sheep in the background. It actually feels a bit like home. So after being away from home for so long, it's quite nice. So anyway, barbecue tonight, and we'll go and explore Busselton tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be really nice as well. We called in at a brewery on the way home just to check out maybe possibly a dinner for Friday night, which looks really nice, and you can grab a bucket of balls and hit them into the dam. Just it's those little things that add so much character to a place, so we're really looking forward to that. And Mum couldn't be more excited about all the wineries and our little purchases today. So
Yes.
how good is it?
I am getting my wine glass ready. This is how it's been travelling this whole trip. Just in a tea towel, in with the plates and cups.
Still going.
Still going strong. I still can't go past a wine glass. I know there are so many Yetis and all sorts of things out there, which I am probably going to get myself a Yeti. But the old wine glass, she's a ripper.
Yeah, and what about mine? What am I going to drink out of tonight? Because I actually bought a bottle of port today.
You don't drink wine very often, so
I occasionally drink a red wine, but
you can have the good old good old bamboo cup.
Yes.
These things have been great too, just saying.
This is about as cultured as I get. So, I can't even say it. This is about as cultured as I get. Cheers to when they're full. Before we head out today, I got up early this morning and we're going to do fuel filters. I haven't done any fuel filters since we left home, which I thought I would have had to have done them by now. I haven't had any fuel lights come up on the dash or any loss of powering, but it's been like 25 for about 23,000 k's, I think. So we put a lot of fuel in it from a lot of weird places. So we've got the factory fuel filter, the fuel manager, the secondary fuel filter, and then because it's got a Brown Davis tank in it, it's got a tiny little inline filter down underneath the car as well. So there's a lot of places there for restriction. And the other day I ran it very low on fuel, so it's time we did it. I don't really enjoy doing this one because they're a real bugger to reprime, especially with the secondary filter. There's a lot of fuel you got to pump through by hand. So anyway, it's part of being on the road, and I just like doing these kind of little things myself than sending it into the mechanics. We get in and do this before everyone gets out of bed. That's what dads do. So this is the little inline filter that comes off the Brown Davis tank. It's pretty simple, that one. A couple of issues I found under here the other day is there's two parts of this Brown Davis tank. It actually goes either side of a cross member and it's connected by hoses. One of these brackets is completely cracked through, and I mean, it's a bit sad, but generally speaking, when I've done any of these kind of trips, only things that fail on a car are the things that you modify or are aftermarket. So it does have another bracket over the back here, and obviously one at the front. So it's not moving too much, and I mean, it's an easy fix. It hasn't cracked through the tank. It's just a bracket cracked on the tank that's welded on the tank. So when I get home, I'll take that front tank off and I'll re-weld that up. But I mean, it's one of those things, at what point do things fail? Because we've done some pretty heavy corrugations in this and on this trip. So I'm not going to be too harsh, but it's something that's happened, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll get this little filter on. That one should be easy. The ones under the bonnet are a bit more painful because, again, of aftermarket accessories have been added, which just make them a bit more difficult to get to. But this is where I get covered in fuel, for sure. Or diesel, rather. Let's see if I can get it off. It's been on there for a while. Oh, yeah, nice. Just keep an eye on which way the flow is on these. Put you on. Okay. Right, one down, two to go. Hot tip for crawling under your car. The old muck mat comes in handy. It's a perfect job for it. Righto, so the factory fuel filter is pretty easy. There's just these there's one over here too, three little Allen key bolts. Undo this plug and the whole top of it lifts off, and you can get at the original fuel filter. On the other side, we got the aftermarket. So you don't try and do it in place. Most of them be the same because engine bays get pretty cramped. You just undo these wing nuts, that whole housing comes off, swings up, then you can unscrew it and hopefully get diesel everywhere, as I usually do. But anyway, this aftermarket setup, this auxiliary fuel filter is completely on the other side of the bonnet, and the fuel lines run all the way around behind the back of the engine. And then obviously you have to, once you replace them, you have to reprime, and by pumping that, you got to pump right across the other side and then back over again. So usually it usually takes me a few goes. Every time I've done this, you leave the car for the day or the night or whatever, and you get back in it in the morning, and it just takes that extra few cranks to start. And then with the scan gauge, sometimes you notice it's down on boost after you do it, and obviously boost is directly related to fuel. So it just gets low on fuel. Like you still get air in the line, which with a common rail diesel, I didn't think that was really a thing, because you know the pumps run such high pressure. It's not like the old ones where you can crack injectors or anything like that, obviously, because it just cut you in half. But yeah, I've always had dramas, and I've asked my mechanic mates, and yeah, they just think it is a bit weird. But I have read it on forums and stuff too, so it's just one of those things. You pull up, you reprime, and eventually it does come good. It doesn't take too long, but it's why I haven't really done it until I've absolutely needed to, and I'm only really doing it due to a time frame thing. It's been so long, and obviously traveling all around the country, you're putting fuel in it from, you just don't know the history of the servos. So I would imagine there'll be some shit in it. If I can catch some of it, we'll have a look. And yeah, it's something definitely to keep an eye on, especially with a diesel. yeah, injectors and fuel pumps and stuff are pretty pricey. So we'll get in and do it, and I'll try and make it look easy. I usually don't, but we'll have a go. This is where you normally drop bolts down into the Never Never. We'll try not to do that on camera today. Righto, so yeah, like I said, the factory filter is actually pretty user-friendly. So this is actually a factory Toyota. Or actually, no, sorry, it's a Ryko, but it's a replica of the new factory Toyota ones. The later model ones have this extra little filter on the bottom, whereas the older ones didn't. So I think you can use both in each. Don't quote me on that though. I just put a little bit of diesel around that O-ring because these ones are actually pretty tight to get in. And I don't want to crimp that O-ring. Yep, that felt good. Pop him in, and then yeah, you screw your housing back down over the top, and pump. Righto, we'll pump him back up. So just keep fuel in the system, so it's not such a big job to fill two. So we'll try and get it pretty full again. Right, it's starting to go pretty hard now. That's good.
Kappa?
Thanks, darling. It's not true what I say about you. Righto. They put wing nuts on this, but I don't really know why. They should be just nuts, really, because you got to use pliers to undo them anyway. So you might as well use a spanner, because you don't really want these to just be that loose that they can fall off. Anywho, undo that, and then these are the other ones I'd like to drop occasionally. So this could be interesting. My God, I didn't drop it. Righto. I should just pull out. It's rare it doesn't make a liar of me. So that sits there. And the fuel looks pretty good really in general in most of them, which is amazing because it's done quite a lot of Ks and quite a lot of weird servos. So this part you reuse. This is the part that goes in the bin. We'll go and change him over and pop him back in. Righto, so we unscrewed the collar off the bottom, put the new filter in, screw the collar back on. It is really that simple. And then we just screw him back up underneath. There she goes. Click. That actually made something look easy. It's amazing. Right, we'll put the bolts back in, and then we'll see how easy it is to start. While we're here, we'll just check the catch can. General rule for me is if I can see oil in the drain hose looking down the housing of the catch can, I get under and empty it. So hopefully, and I can. Righto, we'll jump under and empty that in a second. But yeah, don't let those fill up. Once that's just saturated and sitting in oil, it no longer breathes, and it just makes a bigger problem than what they're worth having. So pump like crazy. You got to get that other filter to fill up now. You got to suck fuel all the way from the back up through that filter and back into this one. So the car will probably fire up pretty easy, and then it will probably die because that filter's still not full, but this one is, and this one is the one it draws off. Another thing to keep in mind, that's a 30 micron filter, I think. The point I'm trying to make is it's a coarser filter than what the factory one is. You don't want a finer filter. That's where you hear people talking about restrictions. Don't quote me, I think it's a 30 micron. I think the factory's a 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the point is you don't want a finer filter than what the factory one is, because that's where you hear about all the restriction problems. And it's before the factory filter, not after. We'll try and kick her in the guts, and I reckon this will be a process I might have to do a few times. There you go, it didn't make a liar of me. So she's just run out of fuel. We'll pump her back up again. It does this nearly every time I do it. Well, actually every time I do it. Righto, generally that's enough. See when we get going today, if it's, you know, you might find it might be a little bit long to start occasionally. It eventually clears itself. If anyone's got a better way of doing this, 100% comment. Don't forget, I am not a mechanic. I just really like to have a go at things myself. I've got reasonable mechanical knowledge, but yeah, I'm always happy to learn. Righto, while we've got the Bisley on, I'll put a new chain on the saw. I was going to sharpen it, but we're sort of a bit strapped for time. We're going to get going. Yes, we're allowed to have a fire here, so we're going to get some more firewood today. This is the first time I've changed the chain. I think I've sharpened it once on the whole trip, and early on we used it quite a lot. So I think I've said it a few times, it's starting to get embarrassing, but my love for the battery chainsaw continues to grow stronger. Very, very, very good bit of gear for camping. 100% would not bring a petrol chainsaw ever again. So we get a new chain on this, and then we're heading out. And if the car plays up, I'll show you what I mean. I think it'll be okay, but yeah, few chores done, all the maintenance done, pretty well to get us home now. We've got about 4,000, 5,000 k's to home, so ready to go out?
Let's do it.
Righto.
So today we're off to Busselton for the day. We've just got back from Busselton. It was a great day out. We obviously did the jetty thing, which is the little hop-on train ride all the way out to the end, and there's a really cool natural aquarium at the end, so you can actually go down about 5 levels underwater and look out, and it's pretty cool. Like, it was good for the kids. The little train ride's pretty cute. Then we looked around Busselton, had lunch, got some dark chocolate, some more red wine. Gonna have a fire again this afternoon and put a roast on, so that's us tonight. Oh, look at that.
What do we got, love?
Roast lamb.
And what are you doing with it?
Not much, just chucking it in a tray and putting some olive oil with the veggies, and that's it.
Put in the barbie and forget about it.
Yep.
Excellent.
Pretty much. We're gonna put that one on that side.
Yeah, for now.
And that one can just go there.
Yep.
There we go.
Nice. Righto, we got the fire going. Went and got wood on the way home. The kids were a great help. Thanks, guys.
Well, I did.
Oh, dinner turned out freaking
So
amazing.
good.
Lamb, veggies.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yep.
really nice.
Right up
How was
there.
the kids?
Oh,
It's very ironic that we're eating lamb and there's sheep walking all around us.
Yeah.
In this sort of camp spot.
Yes, the whole circle of life thing, hey?
the lamb is probably one of my best things in all of this dinner.
Best, you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
No, it did turn out very nice, so... Oh, just
So
can't...
good.
Yeah, it's just...
Amazing.
This is camping again for us. Loved it. We sat around the fire all afternoon and, yeah, sitting outside and having dinner as a family. Just us again. Very, very, very good.
I thought we were called smart touring systems.
That's not very nice.
What are you doing?
Oh, I lost my bloody fitting, didn't I? I left it on the tap. I reckon I've gone through about 20 fittings on this trip. And now we're at an information centre to get water, which is great that they have water, and it's $2 for as much as you want. So I ducked next door to the IGA. They didn't even sell hose fittings, so I'm just holding it. That's how you want to spend your holiday. Is that your warm up?
It's easiest looks.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, look at it go.
Colonial Brewing Company. Excellent food, excellent beer. So much so, Megan bought me a shirt, but I don't normally do that, but really good experience there this afternoon. So a brewery set in wine country is a very smart move. It's packed out here on a Friday afternoon, and I would 100% come back. Very good meal. Go back to light a fire.
Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, the wife bought me a shirt. It's very nice.
So
Thank you.
good.
And off to light a fire tonight. New adventure in the morning.
Look at this. Jumpers and coats.
It is bloody freezing.
It's
Hell.
so cold today. So we've rugged up today. It's a chilly 13-degree day here at Margaret River, and we've come to Mammoth Caves, which was one of the recommended ones that we come and have a look at. So let's go and have a look. It's a self-guided tour. We get these cool little headphones.
Enter number 0.
Is it saying something? Is that good? We've covered a lot in this one, from Cervantes through Perth and Fremantle, and explored heaps of the Margaret River, Busselton area, and visited plenty of wineries. So I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed Margaret River, which surprised me.
Yeah, we probably haven't explored enough wineries, is probably what you meant to say. The kids are a little bit over them.
Yeah, it's not a kid friendly. It's not that kid friendly.
Some of them have got some awesome parks, but it's been raining today. Today's been terrible weather, so you sort of go into them and they have to just sit around inside. So we have taken that into consideration and done some other different things while we're here, but
we
Mainly
pushed the
just
kids
eating
far
and
enough
drinking.
with the wineries, I think, and
Yeah.
we're actually just sitting there thinking tonight it is really time to think about getting home, because we have 4,500 k's to do in under 3 weeks.
Yep.
And don't forget, guys, you only live once.
Ooh, that just splashed all over my hand. Sorry. Go again.
And don't forget, you only live once.
Get out there and enjoy it. Cheers.